Hi guys, it's me Karen and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing this picture over here, and this is in the book that I can't read the title of, but this is the one that contains the spring, summer, winter, fall collection. It's little pieces from every one of her books, so this is the bigger one that she has that is full of all those little things. I picked the mushroom out because I'm going to be using a PanPastels on all of this. I just got the set of PanPastels, name brand, of the extra dark sets. And I did a little video, showed you the colors. So we have kind of the grays, greens, olive colors. We have the kind of a greener gray, bluer gray, gorgeous purple and gorgeous red here, and a brown. You can tell those are my favorite colors, can't you? And then we have a beautiful red here, and then brown ochre kind of colors. And then we have the kind of gray set with another nice little brown in here. I may arrange these a little different from the cards just because I want to kind of get the browns together, kind of put this red over here with this guy and put all the greens together and that kind of thing. But I also have another set, and this one here is, I wonder if I have the paper still for it. I think I do. Here we go. I keep all the stuff. This is the flower coloring kit number 2. I assume there's a flower coloring kit number 1. But this one brought my eye to it when I purchased this one. It has the phthalo blue shade, a phthalo blue tint, so you get a dark and a light. You have the green tint here. You have a violet tint, a ultra blue shade, a turquoise shade, and a green shade. So you can tell by here we have shades. These here are extra dark shades, so these are going to be even darker than these. Okay, so I have that set, and I might use some of the colors in here. I'm not sure, but I want you to know that I have them out here in case I do. I also have a set of the pastel-y colors here. Okay, and then I have the green one here. It has a little crumbling going on, and as far as I know, you can do one of two things. Oh, that's another tool I want over there. I'm just going to take the plastic thing off of this one, and they are pressed down into these things. Now you can spend some time pressing this back in with some pretty good pressure and making sure it's packed that way. Or I've heard you can put rubbing alcohol in this and press it down with a spoon and let it dry, and it will come back to its original shape. This has been sitting in my drawer in a stack and just kind of being shoved around because basically I forgot I had it. If I stick stuff in a container or a drawer or a shelf, or if I even put it in the other room, I forget I own it, just for the fact that I have so much stuff on my desk. Fall down a rabbit hole, you know. So anyway, this is a green tint. What is it called? Permanent green tint. This is ultramarine blue tint. This is violet tint. This is Hansa Yellow tint. And the pink one is permanent red tint. So I might be using those too. I don't know. But I have them out just in case. And then I do have the skin set. It's the 7 colored pastel tool tint in skin tones, but there are only 7 of them in here. And then this one that is my absolutely favorite in all of these, and I would recommend you getting this. This is the colorless blender. And this set, I know it's not the biggest set of skin colors, but I find this one is the one I use. I don't usually go for more than these colors when I'm doing my skin. So I know it costs a lot more to get the bigger set. You get 20 colors instead of 7. I'm taking out the colorless blender because I like it so much. I like using it. Okay, now before we get all into this stuff, I'm also going to show you the tools that I'll be using. And if you notice, this gets all over the place if you touch it too much. If it gets on your page, don't worry about it because you have an eraser near you. Poof, it goes away. Okay, so tools. Now I have the little plastic ones. These usually come with a set. This one is a round edge here. They come in a tip that kind of points, and they come in a triangular tip. Okay, and usually when you get a set, they have the little what do you call these little booties that go on the tips of those in the bottom, and the sets kind of come like this. The top one has a lid, the rest of them just kind of stack. Everybody screws on here. This is a great way to look at them. I'm gonna say, using them this way, I have a problem. I can get them unscrewed really easy. Trying to get these screwed back on, I get them crooked all the time. It doesn't work terribly well, so I will be buying a tray that looks like these trays. They come in a 20 or a 10, and the 10 just go across. They don't have this pretty shape. But this size fits in my drawer, so I'll be buying the 10. It's sticking all those in there and just leaving the lids off because it comes with a plastic lid on the top. It'll save everything. Okay, now I also have this beautiful little tool, and this one comes in this container here. It is just a soft brand applicator. These are the ones that work really well with the PanPastels. People have asked if you can use the Distress ink. These things. You can. You don't get a very good coverage. If you want a smooth coverage with the pastels, this will do the same thing that it does with your Distress inks. If you get too much on there, it'll leave a line and it won't blend. So I don't recommend using those. If you use, say, like these kind of brushes, you can get the pastel on there, but you are spraying pastel dust all over the place when you're putting it down on the paper, and I don't recommend that. So I recommend the soft SOFT applicators, and they're you get sponges. You can get the big ones, you can get the little round ones. This one has one of the long ones in it. Usually if you get a set, they come with some kind of plastic tool and little booties. These were bought separate from a friend of mine who was gracious enough to send me some. So this tool here, these little dudes pop right out. You can, like, if you had a smaller set, just use what you want in one, pull it out, pop in another one. They just little squeeze there and pushes it right back in. You can get into little teeny details more so than you can with this big old guy here. So it comes with 3 little things and the stick, and then you can buy extra pieces to use with them. Boom, what else do I have out here? I think that's about it. Okay, so we are going to start on this mushroom. And I think I want the top of the mushroom done kind of in The reddish color was nice, and I don't know which one was the reddish color, so we're going to have to kind of open these and find out. Let's see. That was a brown color. Reading these off is kind of, it's red iron oxide, but it wasn't as red, and that one's a purple. They're all gorgeous colors. I mean, yeah, this is the other set with my favorite two colors here. My favorite color is Magenta Extra Dark, and the purple one is Violet Extra Dark. And then this one's the dark blue one. Beautiful colors. Love, 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 love. Okay, so we're going to close this one up and find, well, we've got the blue. So I'm guessing this one. No. Yep. Like I said, I can't get them on. See, there's a big divot here, and then they screw on funny. So this is not going to work for me to have them in that kind of container. This is the color I'm after. This one is Permanent Red Extra Dark. And I'm going to go in with this little round booty thing here. I have my colorless blender, and we'll get my little spongy guy here. I'm going to put some of this, and it is colorless. You can tell if you work it into that sponge, it'll go completely out, but it gives you kind of a more extended movement with these. Okay, so we're going to take some of this gorgeous color, and we are just going to put it on the mushroom. Just kind of rubbing it in circular motion, and you'll get a gradation of the color when you pull it out. And the more of this colorless blender you put on here, see how it lightens it up a little bit, but it also helps move the color around. Now if you want it a little darker, just add on the pure color from the pot, and don't blend it in with anything. Isn't that pretty? I just love that color. Put some up here too. One of the other things you have to remember, this is pastels, and any pastel work that you're doing, it's a powder base. You're going to have to use a fixative to set it. If you don't use a fixative, this will smear all over the place. And we don't want to smear our work after we spend time getting it all pretty, right? Just going to add a little bit more over here. Just blend that in. Just going to get it darker there where it's blacker, and maybe up here. Okay, I think that looks good. And like I said, this is a little detail eraser. It's a mono zero Tombow eraser. And if you see how tiny that is, if there's anything you want to turn back white, you can just use this eraser and just pull out the chalk that's there. You have to wipe off the powder that you're putting on the eraser, just so you're not just smearing it around. You want it to get back down to the white. And give it some fun effects. You can only do this when you've laid it down. If you put a fixative on this, you won't be able to erase any of this stuff. So you want to do this work prior to putting your fixative on it. But that is a fun way of doing this. When you do a background with this, you can do the same thing. Kind of give it that bokeh effect with the lighting. I'll just finish going around these little edges. And then I'm going to go down, because see how I'm getting it all over the place over here. So I'm putting my hand right in it. Again, just erase it out. Very forgiving. I like that about it. Okay, so then we have our red kind of top up here. If you want to blend it a little better, just put on some more blender. Thin out some areas or brighten them up. Just work with it until you think you have a nice color on it. I'm going to take a different tool here, and we're going to do the bottom half of the mushroom, kind of like this brown color that I had gotten out. This is the red iron oxide extra dark. So I'm just going to switch tools. Maybe I'll just switch it to this one because it's clean. All you have to do to get these clean is to wipe them off on either a cloth or a paper towel. You don't have to throw them in the washing machine or wash them out by hand. Okay, so I'm just going to put the blender on there and just go over the mushroom here. I like to go in a little light first with the color. You can always put on more. This goes back to my doing the inking. So you can always add in a darker amount. Putting a lot of the blending tool, or the blending pastel. Pull a little of that off. Just using the side, and because it's chalk, you can pull some of that color out. And like I said, if you want it off, just wipe it on a cloth or a paper towel, and you can get it thinner too. If you want that a little whiter, add a little more blending on there. Or erase it. I mean, this is such a fun medium to use. This is just straight up color. I love these deep colors. I can't lie, they're my favorite. Just add a little of the blender just to blend that out a little bit. And then you can bring in your eraser and your little grass pieces. Okay, because you want those to show. Got it on the leaf, just get rid of it. If you want those black lines to show up more, you can erase the color that you have on top. Okay. Blow that color off. We're going to do those leaves. Let's see. We're going to start it off with the lightest green that I see here. And then we have kind of this olive-ish color. So this one is a Hansa Yellow Extra Dark. Now, if you are curious, this is the Hansa Yellow in the tint. This is the very dark. So there's a big difference between the two colors. And the same color name, just the different shades, I should say. So we're going to take a little of this Hansa Yellow here and work on this leaf. Pull some of that down. This is just straight color, no blender. And then what I'm going to do is take some of the light, flip the tool around, that's the extra dark side, this will be the light side, and I'm just going to put some of that in there. And blend those two colors together. Cool. Okay, and then I'll do these other leaves down here too. And the lighter color, blend it in. Fun, fun, fun. And easy and quick. I'm going to use that same color. Let's see. We'll bring in the yeah, this one's hard for me to pronounce. Diaryl Yellow Extra Dark. So it's kind of an olive green color. We're going to do the grass in that. And I should be able to get in there with this tool. But if I go out of the lines, it's okay because you can erase. Just stick that color in there. We'll throw a little of that in these leaves too. Maybe a little in this brown too. It's a cool color. All right, we're going to do the base ground. Well, what color do I want to do that? I think this one's all dark. This one's light. We should have a green down here, and this green is called Bright Yellow Green Extra Dark. Extra tools in there. Let's see what we got here. This one. We're just going to wipe off the extra color in here. Wipe it until it comes off clean. It doesn't look it, but it is. I'm going to pick up some of that, what did I call it? Bright yellow green extra dark. And we're going to add just a couple blops of it here and there. And then pick up some, shouldn't do it that way, do it on the sponge. The blender. Okay, and then I'm going to wipe this off and see what color this one is. Permanent green tint. We're going to add that in there. Cool. Grab some of that blender. Just kind of blend it down to the sides of the page. Okay. Darken this up just a little bit more. Shadow kind of underneath that leaf and around the mushroom. Okay. Now, one of the things I've kind of learned of it while I'm doing skin on these pictures, and it's kind of a harsh thing to do, but I take my little duster. I say harsh only because I have asthma and I really shouldn't do it. Because there's extra chalk on this. And I just like to pull it off. And see how it's pulling it down into the area around the mushroom. I'm going to use that kind of as a background. I haven't put any more. There's nothing on this. It's just a brush. I'm just brushing off the excess of the color. And I'm getting it off of the brush. Okay. And I gotta clean that too. All right. So if you don't want color in the background, we just get out our eraser again. I know I have an electric eraser here on my desk somewhere. You would think I would keep my desk a little cleaner. Hold on a second. Okay, so it's just a little electric eraser. If you want to put in any more of those details that I just took out when I used the brush to kind of accent the background. You want to make sure that any of those areas that you want white or clear again, just to come out, and if you get it too far over, just blend it back in. Kind of want those a little whiter. Yeah, did you notice I got batteries? And these little guys down here, I don't know, I think I like those a little whiter too. Okay, then you get a bunch of stuff all over there again. You'll want to wipe that away. Yep. Of course, I just had that out and can't find out what I did with it either. There it is. Okay. All right. Now, and I haven't colored these little guys, so I want to get some of that color out of there. I'm going to do those, I think, in the red. And like I said, if you have messed up, you can always just go back over it with your color too. And let's see, the berries in red, 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 red. Did I have the red out? Kind of bringing it back into this area here. And I'm just going to pop up this little head off of this thing and put in a new one. And just go in and put a little red on each one of these berries. And whatever this is over here. Like a seed pod or something. Okay, and if you want it darker anywhere, I have to go down and spray this, so I'm just going to put some darkness here and there on it. I'll throw some of that down in here too. Be a little over on this side. Some of the blender. A little bit down here. Okay, then when I get back from spraying this, making sure I don't have any little bits of stuff where I don't want it. Let's see, do I have, I'm just going to use my finger, kind of rub that color in a little bit here. There we go. And another thing you can do on that background that I did, okay, just smearing that around. I'm going to get out a stencil. I'm going to see if this works. Just going to lay it down, and there are some circles in here, and I'm just going to go around and go in here and pull some of that color out here and there. And we'll see how that looks. So we get kind of this soft little polka dots showing here. Do it again on this side. Okay, you can see them a little more. That will happen up here at the top too. We'll do a couple up here. Just a few here and there, so you kind of have the look of a background. Then I want to get it out my bigger circle. And we're gonna, God, this is so crumbly with that. We're gonna take a bigger size. Since these are tiny, tiny, tiny ones, we want to get one that's a little bit bigger, and we will put a couple of these on there. And maybe even a bigger one. I'm just taking it out of the background. I'm trying not to get in on the mushroom or the areas around it. I don't know if you can see it terribly well. but it just gives it kind of this soft look down here. I'll get a bigger one up here too. And maybe one down here. And one on this side. Like I said, I cannot do this if I put the fixative on it, so I want to do this all now. We're going to get that one a little bigger too. Okay, really soft. But there. I'll hold it up so you can see it if you can't see it terribly well. So, see how soft that is? Really pretty, I think. So I'm going to run downstairs and give this a spray, and I'll be right back. Okay, we are done. We're sprayed, and I grabbed out some pencils. These are Prismacolors. See if I can't get this in shot. For the green, I picked out lime peel. For the kind of reddish areas here, I picked out black cherry. It does have a kind of a cherry tone to it. And my black raspberry is about that big. I'm saving it for something else. This is dark brown to go with the brown down here. And then, of course, I have black out here somewhere on my desk. So in these areas, I'm just going to put down a little bit of this color around the edges. And again, this is the black cherry. And just kind of deepen up the edge here. And down on this side. So I'm not putting too much pressure on this. I'm just letting the color go down on the paper. I'm going to darken it up here on this side only because I didn't quite get that pastel out all the way to the edge. And then we do want to make a shadow underneath the leaf a little bit, so we're going to darken it up here. And you can play around with this, darkening it wherever you want to darken it. Kind of like it a little darker under here. You could do this with any set of pencils that you have that have a dark red. This is a cherry color, so just think of a cherry that's in any other pencil set that you have, and this will work. Okay, I think that's good. We're going to go in with the dark brown, so like I said, any pencil that's dark brown will work. Sorry about that. So just go around that. And again, this is just a light touch, just adding some color in here. Not a whole bunch. We don't want to go too heavy. I kind of do want it to look like a pastel coloring. So lime peel for the green. And we'll just darken up some of that too. Add in a little bit more coloring for it. And stick some in the bottom of these grasses that come up. These kind of got a little washed out, but pencil works really nice over the pastels. And again, just lightly. And you can also do that down in here if you like, just to put a little color in down here. If you turn your pencil a little sideways, it'll be a little softer for you. And then you won't be putting down too much pressure, because this is supposed to be a soft little grassy hill. Just want some of that color down here. Okay. Boom. Now if you want some more color up in the background, what we can do, since we have kind of that pink going on back there, I'll get the pink out a little more. It's not pink, it's magenta extra dark. And what I'm going to do is take one of these little brushes. I'm going to get some of that on there, and you can see how much is there. I don't know if you can, but there's a bunch of that on there. I want to take some of that off, because if I put this right down on paper, see if I have a piece of paper here, I'll show you what it'll do. You'd think getting a piece of paper would be easy. Okay. Let's see, it's really dark, and I don't know if I want it that dark, but I'm just going to very lightly put it out here. It's going to go over our little circles, but it's going to give them a different color. So they're still going to be lighter. Okay, just like that. So this is kind of like putting your pastel backgrounds on here, except for using the PanPastels and whatever this tool is. It's a makeup brush, I believe. Add a little of it into the green down here too, just for fun. Okay, now it is darker. We're going to do the same thing and erase with the eraser, just by placing it someplace, going around the area. Making sure you clean it out a little bit, and then add a few of these in here. That's what's nice about the pastels. I am going to have to put fixative on this again, but it won't erase what's in here already because I put a fixative on it. So you can make your little dots a little bit bigger or a little different sized, and don't have to worry about taking it out on any other part of this picture. I'll put one here, maybe another one up here. All this stuff is all over the place. Eraser slime. Okay, I'll put another one on this side. Maybe up here, far up here. And a little one down here. And maybe one up here. And not that big. This one. Okay, one over here. baby one down here, a little one. Yep, gotta get the inside of that. And the little one out here somewhere. And you can add really tiny ones just by dotting it in here. Put another bigger one down here. And there, I'm sorry if you didn't see that. Thought I was up above. But now we have different variations on our coloring. If I go down and spray this again and then add in more, you'll have even a different coloring in here. If I put a little here, if I don't spray it, I wonder if it'll just cover it up. One little color over here too. And then we'll just go in and erase again. Not that big. Smaller one. So you can keep doing this as many times as you want to get the effect you want. I think I'll just put a little small one over here. Can't bend the book that much. Okay. And if you want to, you can always go in with your pencil and darken the corners of these, or fill them in if you want. Just the edges. Very light. And then you'll get the dimension between the darker ones and the lighter ones. And it's just a fun way of doing that. So play with it any way you like, but this is the way I did this picture. I hope you enjoyed it, and like always, I will leave a picture at the end of the video of the completed page. This is just the black cherry. I'm just putting in some coloration down there. I like to add it into the green too. It's just a prettier effect. Anyway, I'll leave a picture at the end of the video like I just said, and I will list, I'll have to rewatch the video because I'm not exactly sure which colors I used. I'll list the pencils and the pastels at the end of the video. Hopefully I'll get them right. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye now, guys. Take care.